When help desk really means help us, not we'll help you. On my recent trip to the 2 stores we bought that are 300 miles away from the home office and home, I had many tasks to perform. But when I arrived, I found that I couldn't perform some of them at one of the stores because it had been offline for 3 days. The telco in question is, hands down, the worst phone company in the world. If you've dealt with them, you know who I'm talking about. If you haven't, you should praise the heavens at your good fortune. They were saying at the time that, despite this business account being offline for 3 days already, it would be the next day before they could have a tech on the scene. But they managed to get someone out that day anyway. They couldn't tell the truth even when it would make us happy. I suspect they grabbed the first janitor they could find and sent him out just to shut us up. He was even more inept than usual, even for the worst telco in the world. So the tech arrives, and I get a call to run up there from the other store to keep an eye on things, I guess. I arrived to find him fumbling helplessly, trying to reprogram the modem. Yeah, it's on bonded DSL, and there's no other option available, because it's that telco. At this point, in chatting with the store manager, who had been working with their help desk, I found out that while there was a, probably windstorm-related, outage 3 days ago, the real problem now what the help desk had told him to do a factory reset on the modem, which set it to DHCP, when we had to have a static IP for the VPN. So the help desk insisted the circuit was up and running, but nothing worked because the modem had a different IP than what our firewall was using as a gateway. And that was somehow our fault. So the tech is standing there with a document on his table with detailed instructions on how to reprogram the modem, and all the network settings needed, which was also on a label on the modem itself, and he had absolutely no clue what to type into where. I literally had to point to each text box on his table and tell him, type this number in there. 5 minutes later, we were back online. Sigh. Irate pizza store owner. I have been reading a lot of these lately, and wanted to share the only story that really stands out to me. For a little background, I work in a local telephone co. in a small town. This company is based in said town. We offer home phone, internet, cable, and security systems. We'll call this company Small Telco. I have been there in tech support 2 years this month. However, this story takes place about 6 months after I first started, when I was still on day shift. It is important to note that if a customer requires a tech visit, also known as trouble ticket, businesses are almost always same day, and residential is same day if you call before 1-2 p.m. or next day after that. So here I am waiting for my next call when the phone rings. I answer, and the gentleman, already a little loud and belligerent, says his internet is down at his business, and he is now unable to process credit card payments. I get his information, pull up the account, and see that it is a fairly new local pizza place in the next town over. I pull up his modem to take a look, and every single level on it that could be bad, was bad. At this point I ask him have they changed anything recently, but the answer was no. We do a little more troubleshooting, resetting from my end, power cycling the modem and router, unplugging, and resetting the coax cable, but every time the levels still come up bad. At this point I inform him that we will have to put in a ticket to have a tech come out. At this point it is important to note what I said about wait times earlier. Business is normally same day, however, this guy was a special case. We are a local business ourselves, and sometimes to help out new local businesses, our CSRs will allow the business to have a residential account. It's a little cheaper, and helps local businesses stay in town. This is the case with this guy. It is also around 1.30 at this point, which means it would more than likely be the next day before a tech could go out. I inform him of this, and he blows up. I let him know, I am sorry, but there are people that had called in before him, that had issues just as important. He ends up cursing me out, and demanding my supervisor, who told him the same as I did. The next day was very slow, so I decided to look at the ticket and see if it was worked yet. It was. I looked under the tab that tells what the problem was. Customer cut coax cable, and installed their own splitter. Apparently they did not do it correctly. The best part is, because he lied about anything changing during the call, and the fact that the issue was caused by something he did, he was charged $75 for the service call. Also, because he was so rude, I'm pretty sure they switched him to a business account, which gave him a higher rate, but a tech could get out same day in the future. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.